What is going on? What is going on? Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of Beyond the Hustle. I'm your MC Daniel Tadamy, and join with me, as always, serial entrepreneur himself, Mr. Paul Renee Jr. Paul, what is going on? What is going on, brothers? Episode 44,
What's up,
man?
Daniel? What's up? It is I, your task guy, Paul Renee, with the maestro Daniel Tadamy, the glue that puts this podcast together. Thanks,
Yes,
Dan.
sir.
What's
Yes,
up with
sir.
you,
Yes,
man?
sir.
How you been?
I've been good, man. Going through it, man. Doing a lot of hustling, a lot of working. I'm trying to cut back on like how much energy like I put into like, you know, each task that I have to do. I was thinking about it today because I was parking my car, and like the way I park like on the side of the street, right? And so normally when I park on the side of the street, I used to like drive around the whole neighborhood, right? And I'm like, I don't want to put that much time into having a park. So what I started doing, I just pull into my neighbor's yard, like his driveway front, and I just reverse back into like my spot.
Okay.
And I was thinking to myself, I said, bro, I'm not lazy. I just don't like putting unnecessary time into things when I can like find a more feasible way to do this task. I'm big on time. So like I'm trying to find ways to like minimize my time spent on task, bro. And that's why like, you know, AI programs, softwares, I run a bunch of apps on my phone, bro. Just trying to get my time, dog. That's where I'm at with it.
No,
It's a big
I
story.
totally
but
agree. Time, you can't get that back. You know, and speaking of time, right now we're at our 44th episode, bro. 44.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, definitely a round of applause. Big shout out to Daniel, man. We're getting that 50 episode is just creeping up real close.
Yeah,
We're gonna try to do something with bringing back guests and speaking to guests. Well, not even a guest. This guy, he's like family. He's coming on.
Facts.
He's been on the episode a couple of times. If you're from Ocala, you should know him. What's going on, EJ?
What is up? What is up,
Hey,
EJ?
what's up, man? What's going on?
He's
What
the
is
Puerto
up,
Rican.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah,
What's up,
man.
I love it, man. No, I love being on the show, man. It's a good time. It's always a good time when we're here, you know? It's always a good time. And I'm excited for 44, man. Doing it big, bruh.
Yeah. The big 4-4, man. I was gonna comment on your Christmas tree to see how long I took mine down. We took ours down like in the past 2 weeks. We took our tree down last week. The inside stuff outside was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
How long you plan on letting it stay up?
Oh, it's hanging out to at least February 1st, bruh. At least February 1st, because I'm Puerto Rican, you know, so we celebrating Three Kings. So I'm like, we going at least rock it till Three Kings. And then after Three Kings, you know, I'm just like, well, we're already almost midway through January. Might as well just finish it. Just finish it. You feel me? So February 1st, the tree coming down. I got some other Christmas decorations that are gonna come down, but usually I like to keep it up till February.
Till February.
Till February.
Yeah. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
I just got to get off my ass and stop being lazy and take mine down and put it up in the attic. I don't really have a specific time. It should have been down already. But I just haven't got to it.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. People move different paces. So I don't know if you guys have seen, I posted about it though. I posted about it snowing in Florida. I don't know what the temperature was. But I seen this video and seeing your tree reminded me of it. I'm like, yo, hold on, bro. It snowed in Florida. And so when I was talking to my homeboys about it, they said, bro, it snowed in Florida before. Like recently, I'm pretty sure it snowed like years ago. They're like, nah, bro, it snowed like in 2000 something. I said, what? They said,
no, it snowed last year.
03. It snowed last year?
No, it snowed last year at my mama's house. Like legit.
Where?
If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, it snowed last year.
Last year
as well.
I don't remember hearing. I don't remember hearing anything about snow in Florida last year.
It wasn't last
Nah,
year. It
bro.
was man. Time's flying by that fast. That was 2 years ago.
I think
Probably
it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Man,
If I'm
Dude,
not
it was-
yeah,
mistaken.
you're
it
right.
was last
Yeah,
year, too.
you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It was 2 years ago. Man, time is flying fast. Goodness, man.
So she so
That's
she had snow on in her yard. Like,
Oh yeah, no, my mom. So 2 years ago, mom had it was about 1.5 feet of snow in the Panhandle of Florida.
Wow.
No joke. She got video.
Oh,
She
okay.
got videos to prove it, bro. She got video and pictures to prove
I
it.
believe it.
Foot,
man,
bro, foot and a
I believe
half. Foot and a half of snow, dog. Not even joking.
no. I mean, you
That
can
was
you
the
can
first
that's
time
that's
that occurred for her.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because before that, it hasn't snowed in Florida for what since like the 90s. It was like
that's
90
what I
something,
thought.
right? The last time it snowed. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Dude, a foot of
Alright.
snow, like that's snowman. Like you could build a snowman with that.
Oh
with a foot
yeah,
of snow, bro.
they were doing snowman. They were doing snow angels. The dogs were outside playing and rolling around in the snow. It was crazy.
Bro, we shutting down
It
the
was
city,
crazy.
bro. Nobody doing nothing.
Oh. Oh,
Dude.
trust they weren't. Floridians don't know how to handle snow.
We ain't built for that.
We
bro.
barely know how to
Not
handle
ready for
rain.
that, man.
Dude,
I
no lie.
barely know how to defrost my windshield, man. That's crazy.
Come on now,
Bro. No lie, I'm gonna tell him myself, but like I went out this morning to take my son to school. I had frost on my windshield. I said I'm not going to the office today. We working from home. No.
Yeah.
I'm not
Seriously.
dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that.
Can you imagine living in the northern states, having to be able to shovel snow off your driveway and your front porch, and all
bro.
that, you have to work before getting to work, or
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy.
Exactly.
I'm glad I'm living in Central Florida. I'll tell you that much.
Facts.
Have y'all seen the videos? Y'all seen the videos of the people up north? They got the flamethrowers, and they be flamethrowing
I
like
saw
their
that.
pavement. I'm being dead serious. A flamethrower, bro.
Yes.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Melting
a
their
fun way
driveways.
of going about it.
Dude, I could visit snow. I could visit, I'll play all day. But to like have to live and like, dude, that salt,
Mhm.
it rusts your
No.
car. Like it's not good for your car. And then once rust gets on your car, bro, like you gotta like cut out the infected area. Like rust spreads.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that's
there goes
done.
the resale value.
Yeah, bro. And like all that stuff tears up. And then like you said, your car is buried, And let's just be honest, bro. Like most people, not everybody, most people don't wake up with enough time to get to work. Like you got to wake up 2 hours early
Right.
and like be dressed 2 hours because you got to get out there
Mhm.
and spend 30 minutes getting your car out. But man,
Yeah.
I want to get into this. I want to get into this, right? So we can get this conversation going. I told both of you guys what I want to talk about, but just for the people watching, I want us to kind of dig into regrets a little bit on the show, because one thing that I've found out is that everyone has them. We all have them. The older you get, you either pile up more or you try to limit the amount of regrets you have. Most of the time when I see people moving in purpose, and both of you gentlemen move in purpose, both of you, and you're successful at it. Most of the time when you see people doing that, they have, a minimal amount of regrets. The people I see with the most regrets are people who don't move within purpose and they're not doing what they're called to be doing. They may have success, yet it's not purposeful success. So, and then they make decisions based off of whatever it is they do. So I kind of wanted us to dive into regrets, and let's just get into it, man. You don't gotta, we don't gotta know your business, but you guys have any regrets, or how are you navigating, living a life in purpose, with regrets? I'll let you go first, EJ.
Man, that's a really good. It's a really good question because it's almost like I don't, and I you hit it on the head that, and I don't. Again, there's so much more out of life that I want, that I desire, that I'm working hard to towards, but what I have realized in this pursuit is like I make decisions, you know? There's decisions that I make. Hold on one second. Is that me? Do you
Yeah,
hear
I think
that?
that the air.
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out
I didn't
because
hear
like
it.
I took my glasses off. My bad. I took my glasses off, and then when I put them back on, hold
It's better now.
on. Okay.
It's gone now.
Okay. So I'll start over because I know you're recording, and you can probably chop that out. So for me, in my life and my pursuit of everything that I'm going for, I think about it in a way that if I didn't do the things that I have done, and if I did not make the decisions that I made 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because I'm 41. So I'll say that I started making adult life decisions midway through college. So
Mm.
22, 22 years old, 23. I think
Mhm.
back at 22, 23-year-old EJ, and I'm like, a lot of the things that I did, a lot of the moves that I made, they were all because, there were particular things I wanted to accomplish. And the biggest thing that I toil with myself as a single
Mm.
man is that, I made a lot of decisions to choose my career over marriage, to choose my career over having children, right? And I made very intentional choices. And there are days that I flip flop thinking, do I regret not getting married? Do I regret not having kids? And I, you have to be real with yourself, right? And so as I'm talking, I'm also kind of sharing with you guys. You have it with everybody watching. There comes a point where you got to be real with yourself, right? And you're like, what is it that you really want? And I would say
Mhm.
that I would have regretted not getting married younger or earlier, or, well, I'm not married now, but I would have regretted, not getting married or having kids if like I didn't make that decision. And it because I made specific decisions. And so I know that's like a long-winded answer, but me personally, the only regrets that I have now are like investment regrets, right? Like hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
So there were opportunities, right, to buy real estate. There were opportunities to get in on the ground floor with some type of technology, a social like an app or something that friends were working on 10 years ago, etc. Not that these things blew up and became Facebook, but there were opportunities for me to make several tens of thousands, couple
Yeah.
$100,000. And so the regrets that I have personally in my life really are financial. Like the financial moves that I didn't do when I was in my late
Yeah.
20s, early 30s. So those are my regrets, just putting it on the table
No, that's
because
real.
Mhm.
relational regrets or like marriage regrets, I as a 41-year-old man looking back, single, no kids, there's absolutely no way that I would have had the bandwidth to be able
Yeah.
to successfully be a
Mhm.
loving, Christ centered husband and successfully be a Christ centered father and give my family the attention and the love and the honor and the stewardship
Mhm.
that they deserve. So I could say, I mean, I know this sounds crazy, but I would probably be divorced by now. I'm just gonna be honest.
That's
So
Yeah,
real
like
that's
me,
me
huh?
being completely transparent.
though.
I'd
Yeah.
probably be
Nah.
divorced because I made decisions. Like I made
Yeah.
black and white decisions. I
Yeah.
and so if I would have said yes to marriage, I know that deep down inside, like deep in my heart of hearts,
Mm.
what I really wanted was to continue building this entrepreneurial legacy as opposed to a
Right.
marital legacy or a family legacy. Yeah.
And that's the balance that you hear a lot of married men, a lot of successful men go through on and on and
Yes.
on. And again, it seems like that is like the constant thread and you hear them, even pastors, they'll
Yes.
talk about it, and you hear them talk about their regrets and missing these moments because they were pursuing, you know.
Yes.
But I don't want to get too much into that because, but Paul, what about? I mean, if you don't want to give regrets, you don't have to. But
I have a couple of things that I wish that I would have done differently. Overall, I'm kind of satisfied with the outcome that I've had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
From all of the mistakes that I did, and not even mistakes, some just decisions that I made that had a particular outcome that I just didn't like. And as I got older, I learned from it, right? And it created the man that's in front of you guys here today, and I'm satisfied with that. But there are some things that now that I'm older, what I would have done differently now that I know, right? But I don't know it. I wouldn't have known it unless I would have experienced it, and I'm happy that I've experienced it. And still, now at 46, I still got a long life to live with that wisdom,
Yeah.
right, and experience. But I would have kept all my contacts, from everyone that I've met,
Yes.
or ran
Yes.
into, right?
Yeah.
Ever since I
That's a
could
big
have,
one.
I would
That's
have
a
kept
big
all
one.
of it, right?
Yeah.
All of it. That's one of the main things. I would have surrounded myself at a younger age with like-minded people, because when I was younger, I had that
Yes.
entrepreneurial spirit. I knew that, ever since when people used to ask me, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I didn't say policeman, fireman, or anything. I said a businessman. I didn't even know what it was, right? But I didn't even know
Wow.
what kind of business I wanted to be in, but I wanted to be a businessman. That's why it was hard for me in school, because in college, or even high school or whatever, because it wasn't teaching me how to be a businessman. It was just teaching me how to work and how to get a good job. Every lesson was, you need to do this so that you guys can get a job, get this degree. I was a psychology major, and so they were talking about what psychology assistants make and all this, and I'm thinking to myself, that's not gonna fund the lifestyle that I want, right? So
Yeah.
I would have kept my contacts. I would have surrounded myself with like-minded people who were, wanting to be, entrepreneurs in the future, or working toward entrepreneurship. Because the people who I was hanging around with, even though I tried to talk them into, hey, let's get this business running or whatever, it was always, push it to the back burner because, they wanted to do something else. So I would have surrounded myself with people who had that same ambition as me. And I would have invested in Bitcoin when it was at $900 a Bitcoin, right? I would have mined that. I would, because I had a neighbor. My neighbor used to mine Bitcoins back when it was like $900 for a Bitcoin. He used to mine it. I don't know if you guys understand the mining process of how Bitcoins used to be mined back in the day. Yeah. See, I didn't know it either. That's why I didn't invest in it. But he had a whole bunch of computers, in his house that was generating Bitcoins. That's how it was originally mined. And I still think it's still, that process today. I'm not sure, but I know they used to have warehouses of computers. People used to buy warehouses out in the Bitcoins. But he had a couple of consoles in his house. That's all they did was mine Bitcoins. And he would tell me, hey, you got an office, man. You got an office. Use that office. You don't have to pay electricity. You could just get that.
That's crazy.
I'm not thinking about it. Yeah. So right now Bitcoin is where it's at. But I used to be on the ground floor of it. I could have been, and it taught me though. And so I don't regret it, because it taught me that if you try to be a part of a business, get with that business on the ground floor when it's starting. Be the first, want to be a part of that business. Yeah. So I started investing in penny stocks and stuff, and see how that goes. But that's just a gamble. But but that's the three regrets that I really have, is keeping the contacts, surrounding myself with like-minded individuals, and that Bitcoin. That's about it.
That
but
Bitcoin, bro.
It wasn't really a regret. It was a lesson though. It really was a lesson that had me always looking to be a part of a new venture, right? I'm always
Yeah.
looking for the new venture, partnering with people, starting something up, only because of that lesson that I learned off of Bitcoin, right? You never know what's going to happen in the future. So why not try to get stuff started from the ground floor and be a part of it? So that's about it. But I don't think I'm gonna be one of those old guys. I don't think I'm gonna be one of those old guys that's gonna be grumpy and that's gonna, be mad at everybody and get off my lawn because they regret, the way they did things in life. No,
Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, that's how it
But
is.
with the Mr. Wilson's out
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
They hate their life.
Nah, yeah, exactly. Because of the things that they regretted.
Yeah, and I think
it should have done.
And I think in both of you guys' cases, like I said earlier, you both of you move with purpose. You're moving within your purpose. You guys are purpose driven, purpose filled, and you're out on mission each day. Whatever that mission is for you both. So I don't think the regrets don't move the same. And like you said, Paul, now regrets are just lessons I've learned, and that's what I was going to say too. So you segued it perfectly. When dealing with regrets, they remain that and they don't turn into lessons whenever you fail to learn from them. And I'll just say one of the biggest ones for me, the biggest regret I have is the time I wasted. And that's the reason why I am the way I am. I always trying to find a way to do things with using the less amount of time. Still want to maintain a standard of quality to what it is that I do in everything. However, how can I redeem some time on this, right? Because I'm big on that. And I feel like within my younger years, I did waste a lot of time because I was focused on the wrong things. And we talked about that last part in episode 43, just what you're focusing your time on. I was focused on so much. I had these talents and these skills and I wasn't focusing on honing those and finding ways to monetize those. Now everything I do, I'm like, okay, how can I monetize that? It's all about the money now. But before, I wasted a lot of time and I burnt a lot of my, skills and wasted time, bro, just on things that didn't matter and that were not fruitful. So now, no matter what it is that I do, I'm just like, okay, what type of fruit is that going to bear within my life? I'll be selfish with it. Hey, what kind of benefit is that to me? You know what I'm saying? Because if it benefits me, if it benefits my household, I'm married with kids, so I don't have the luxury to just do things for the sake of doing it. Like that's just out the window. No more. It all has to make sense, and there are some things that I do charity wise and I do give and stuff like that, but majority of the time, bro, nah. So like now that's where I look at it. And when the regrets don't turn into lessons, and I think that's where failure comes in. Like, because we talked about it before, Paul. I was like, oh, there's not failure, there's just lessons. I think it becomes a real failure. It is failure when you don't learn from it. That's the only way you're going to see failure. That's the only way things become regrets.
Right.
Is when you don't convert them into lessons. So like for me, what I guess I don't know how you guys are gonna answer this. Like this question just came to me. I apologize if I buried you guys with this one because I got my interview hat on, man. Like I don't know. Like so what's the process like for you all when it comes to saying, okay, listen, this just happened, your reflection process. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I just did this, boom, boom, boom. I gotta learn from this. And it doesn't have to be long, right? Because like we're men. I know for me, I'll kick it off. Like if something happens in my life, like maybe on a bike ride, maybe in the gym. It could be when I'm just like gaming, not streaming, because so I'm in my mind numbing. I'll think about something that just happened, and I'm like, okay, how can I improve that? Or when I'm in the car listening to music, how can I improve on this and learn from that so I don't end up back here again? So yeah, I'll let EJ, you went first last time. So Paul, what do you think about that?
So
my process is just pattern my process is just pattern recognition. If I see something that I don't like the results of, then I'm gonna avoid it and I'm gonna go a different route. And I'm gonna find that route to where I like seeing, that result. So Yeah, and I'm just quick to discover what doesn't work, and it always just ends up with the results for me. I like seeing what the results are, and then I go about it, make adjustments from any type of mistakes made, and get the results that I want. I'm just a result oriented person. So any type of and when it comes to failure, I failed so many times, but I've learned from all of the failures that I've had, and I've had much more failures than I've had successes, right? So it's kind of like, the guy that when you're out there in the dating scene, you're gonna talk to 10 girls, and you probably not gonna get all, eight. You're probably only gonna get two, right?
That numbers game.
But you're gonna learn from it's a numbers game. So you're gonna learn from the first eight on how to approach the last two, and you're gonna have more confidence, more bounce in your step, and you're gonna be able to brush off any type of objections and stuff. So I just learn from my mistakes, and move about it from there, and look for the best results.
That's real. That's real.
So for me, there's
I hope that answered the question.
two major
Yeah.
things. There's two major things for me when I think about learning lessons and moving forward, and just kind of learning from either mistakes or regrets. And they came from two separate podcasts. I don't remember specifically where they came from exactly, but one is they talked about looking at your life in decades. When I started looking at my life in decades, it really started to put things into perspective for me, right? So from 0 to 10, right? Like, you're a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that 0 to 20 is a lost leader, but the reality is from 0 to 18, I would pray that your parents are doing everything in their power to help you become the most successful adult you can become. This is a whole nother podcast
Right.
episode, but there's a lot of parents that are like, yo, I helped you survive. I kept you alive. I took you to school. I took you to church. I didn't really teach you anything. The church taught you. The school taught you. I kept you alive. And now you're 18 and now you got to go. And there's so much more, I mean, again, another podcast for another day. And in regards to parenting and raising up kids and stuff. But I bring all that to say that year 0 all the way to 20, right, 2 decades, I say, okay, what did I learn when I was a kid? How far back can I remember childhood, right? When I was in middle school, high school, what did I learn? What did I learn in school? What did I learn in church? Were there lessons that my parents taught me? Boom. But really, when it starts to kick in heavy for me, I'm 41, is 20 to 30, okay? That decade. What did I do? What did I do? How intentional in life was I? From 20 to 30, right? And then from 30 to 40, what did I do? And now, as I'm continuing to look at my life in decades, it helps me give myself a little bit more grace, because I'm looking at life now like, okay, what do I need to do to set myself up, utilizing the regrets or the mistakes and the lessons in my life? How can I set myself up for success for the next 10 years? I'm 41. How does 51-year-old EJ look like? What do I want 51-year-old EJ to look like and to have? So that's one. And then the other one was another topic called the 1% rule. And every day you're trying your best to elevate your life by 1%. So when I did the math on that in my life, right? Because everybody spends a different amount of time awake. So when I did the math and I plugged it all into ChatGPT, 1% better equated to about 10 minutes every day. What can I do for 10 minutes every day to help my life be better? Meaning, every single day you are stacking on top of the success from the previous day. So, for example, if you've already been working out, then guess what? Is it another 10 minutes to work out? Is it another 10 minutes to eat better? Is it another 10 minutes to meditate? Is it another 10 minutes to read a book? Everybody's equation is different.
Mm.
I mean, my goodness, I get up at 7. I don't go to sleep until 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Other people,
Wow.
they go to sleep at 9, right? So your equation is going to be different.
That's
But
me.
for me, I live by the 1% rule. Be 1% better every single day, and that percentage will stack, right? So
Wow. That's actually
that's
pretty
how I
dope, though.
learned, you know.
That's dope.
Yeah, that is.
That's
man.
dope.
And I think a theme, right, between the both of you is that action. That action. I was thinking about it while both of you were talking. I'm like, man, like what I'm hearing from both of them is a response and an action. And I think
Yeah.
that that's what the hardest thing for. We talked about it before on the show, Paul. The hardest thing for a person to do in anything is to start. That first step is the hardest step to take in anything that you do. But you don't get anywhere without it. You don't get anywhere without that first step. And I'll even
Yeah.
challenge that statement. You know, when they say the first step is the hardest. I think it just depends.
Yep.
You know, but it's a lot of times I'll probably say it's hard because you don't know what resources you may need to gather to make it happen. However, the excitement is there. The adrenaline, you know, it's something new, right? It's just like a relationship. The newness is there. But then when you're sitting in that relationship, year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, that excitement isn't there anymore. The excitement is gone. So a lot of times people get excited about things and we jump to it and then we're in it. And it's just like, oh, I don't know how to maintain this. You know, I may have the tools to maintain it, the resources, the money to maintain it. I don't just have the will, the desire, the passion is gone. And that's why what I said earlier, you two both are purpose driven. So like having that desire to follow through majority of the time, most of the time when you're in purpose, it's there because it's your purpose. You know what I'm saying? We just in it. But yeah, I thought that was kind of
I
dope.
wanted to share real quick on that. And I think that's why it's very important for people to find their purpose because and this might sound cliche because so many influencers and you know podcasts and gurus they talk about this, but like it is extremely important, man, to understand why you are here because
Yeah.
all of us are here for a reason. Because here's the thing, without that, you're just waking up. You're just waking up like, all right, bet, like I guess it's another day. And the reality is it's like no, you know, and I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna Christianese this. And what I mean by that is like I'm not gonna, you know, sit here. I'm not a pastor, nothing like that. So I'm not gonna utilize some Christianese and be like, yo, but what I am gonna say is, and you know, in my life, yeah, God is my purpose, or He gives me purpose, right? We're all blessed with a purpose, and what I mean by that specifically is like the passions that are inside of me are way different than the both of you. And the both of you have different passions that are different from each other and me. So, like, there's things that I do, there are things that I'm passionate about that I want to change that they're only for me to do. But if I'm not intentionally trying to find that out, then for me, when I think about this whole topic, to me, the nucleus, the center, or the foundation, however you want to put it, is really understanding your purpose. Because if you don't, what is the point? I'm just gonna be completely raw. What's the point of your life? And I'm not saying nothing crazy. I'm not saying to take your life. I'm not saying none of that because every life is precious and every life is
Yeah.
important. But like if you don't understand your purpose, what is the point of life? You're just waking up and being like, well, I guess I'm going to go to work. I don't even know if I like working at this law firm. I don't even know. Why am I a doctor? Am I a doctor because my mom and dad told me that I had to be a doctor? Like, and there's people that live like that. Cool.
That's true.
They drive a Mercedes. They have a really nice office. They have a beautiful wife and kids, but they literally meander around life and they're like, yo,
Yep.
I don't really know if I love my wife. I love my kids. I don't really know if I even like my wife. I don't
Yeah.
like my job.
Yeah.
I make a lot of money, but like I don't care. And there's a lot of people that I know like that, bro. It's crazy. I'm like, bro, you're
Mhm.
literally driving around in a G wagon, or like you're literally
Yeah.
driving around in a Maserati, and you're telling me that you don't even know the purpose of your life, and you drive $175,000 car. Like that's kind of crazy to me. But some people just stumble upon success, maybe. But I don't know. I feel like purpose is a big part of that. And that way, when you wake up, you just know you got
Yeah.
to activate. You got to activate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, success is just different from, like you said, it's different for everyone. That's why,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of people can have everything that you're talking about, but they don't even feel successful. They don't feel, because they
Yeah.
don't have their
Mm.
purpose. I was fortunate. I was fortunate, to know at a young age what my purpose was, and
Yeah.
I do think it's similar to what everyone's purpose should be, in a sense, a little bit of it, because I found at a young age where, when I didn't have anything going on, this was like when I was 16, 17, going to different types of schools and colleges and stuff like that, because I started college when I was 16.
Okay.
And I just knew it was like, I was like, man, I'm just sitting here even after, school, or when I'm not in school, and I wasn't working, and I was just sitting there with nothing, with nothing to do. It was just schoolwork. But I'm like, man, there's something, it has to be something bigger than this. Life can't just be
Yes.
just about school and stuff. So I knew at that time, I was missing something, a part of my life. And I found that when I just started helping people and finding ways to help people, when I started cutting people's lawns, right? That was one of the first things that I was doing that connected me with, my community. Was helping people, while I was cutting my grass, I would help other people, cut their grass. My neighbors cut their grass, and it was fulfilling, right? Especially when I was getting paid for it. It was just like, wow, I'm doing something to help this person, and I'm getting paid for it too. This is cool. I want to keep doing this. And so I just kept finding ways to do it. But that's what my purpose was, or is to serve people. And now that I'm much more mature, I want to serve them at a higher level, right?
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where my goal money as they possibly can, to help them find their purpose and make money at the same time from doing it. So,
Yeah.
and that's not really specific; it's in general, right? But that's the bottom line of what I found is much fulfilling for me. And unfortunately, a lot of people haven't found that. I'm still dealing with people
Yeah.
today who are in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, that still don't know what their purpose is, right? And
That's
so
wild.
I like to
That's
be,
wild.
yeah, it's the truth. I like to be the
Like
part
50,
of
yeah,
trying to
like
help them
40,
find that.
50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
It
yeah,
it's
it is.
it's time, bro. It takes time to reflect and be introspective, and
Yes.
to even face that mirror, because in the pursuit to find purpose, you have to look in that mirror, and that mirror is not always pretty, man. What's in that mirror isn't
No.
always pretty, because you got to face yourself, the good and the bad within yourself. You got to come face to face with that, because sometimes, based off of how you were raised, and what your parents put into you, what society put inside of you,
Yep.
that'll
Yep.
conflict with what your purpose is. What you do
Yep.
and what your purpose is, they don't marry all the time. Because Paul, you said what your purpose was. It doesn't matter what you do, right? You could be doing 5 different things, and all 5 of them relate to your purpose in some way. And
Exactly.
that's what makes purpose so unique. And when we talk about this, we're not saying that everyone, just to kind of clarify, because I don't want people to feel weighted or pressured into anything. You don't have to have your own business. You don't have to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone is going to do that. You don't have to be a leader of many. You don't even have to be married with kids. Like, it's going to be what is specific for you and what your purpose looks like.
Correct.
And that's
Correct.
a huge thing.
Correct.
And I say that because I wish I was told those words. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
wish I was told those words because you don't always have to, dang, I don't want to get on the church. I ain't gonna do it.
No.
I ain't gonna do it. Now I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. Drewski did it enough for us. Drewski done
Did he?
twisted the church upside
Oh yeah, he
down,
done.
bro.
Yeah.
Has he done enough?
You think he should? You think it should have been longer, huh?
Man, that was perfect. It was perfect just the way it was. It was perfect just the way it was, man.
I'm not gonna lie. When I did my reaction video, I named this church Could Have Been Ministries, and somebody on TikTok was like, "Did he name his church? Is that his church? Could have been?" And I was like, "Nah, but he should have used that though. He should have wrote with that. Could have been." But nah, I ain't gonna church.
Told you but business, right? I've been told you it's a business, man. And you gotta pay the pastor, man. You coming to see his event.
Come to his event. Exactly.
And a new Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Close the doors. Close the doors.
Yeah,
close the doors.
Close
the doors.
I was watching that sketch and I'm like, bro, everything that he did in that sketch, like a pastor has done. So like,
yes,
how can people be mad at that? Like, how can you be mad when we all know a church that we can go to that has done that? So like,
oh yeah,
the only people I've seen was mad were the pastors. I haven't seen anybody else.
Them pastors was pissed. Them pastors.
Oh, Mike Todd responded. Mike Todd responded.
I didn't see his response.
Yeah, Mike look Todd. Look it up. I don't want to misquote Todd, but he responded. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dang, I should have brought that up.
That's another reaction video for you, bro.
I should have brought it up.
That's another one. Because Mike he responded.
Oh, I got it. Dang, I gotta react to it, bro. You just said it. Speaking of reaction, y'all want to get into some reaction videos, bro? It was dope, man.
Yeah. Let's see what you got.
It's dope. That was a dope talk.
Another reason why women get ghosted.
I don't want to. I tried to get a nice little collection. Let's get into this first one.
Another reason why women get ghosted is they don't understand that after sex happens, the onus of the effort shifts to them.
To the women.
To the women.
Interesting.
Perhaps you've heard this said that men are the gatekeepers of commitment and women are the gatekeepers of sex.
I heard that in the book, yeah.
But in modern dating, where sex precedes commitment, then we just come up against the women's gatekeeping first. And this isn't even really about men and women. It's about who's like on the outside and who has the power to let them in. So women have the power to let men in sexually, and sex happens before commitment these days. So the man's going to be making the effort.
Yep.
He's running offense. She's running defense.
At first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes women think, because they get kind of anchored there, that after sex happens, that he's just going to keep trying or keep escalating. And it's like, no, sweetie, you have to make the effort. You didn't just hand over sex to every man that desires it from you. Why is that man going to hand over commitment just because you want it? You have to go get it. Now you are on offense. He's on defense, and he can let you in or not. No. And so a lot of women don't try. They don't make the effort. And they also often don't know what to do. They don't know how to secure a man's commitment.
Paul, we talk about that a lot on this show, bro. we talk about that a lot on the show, bro. And
man, see, don't get me started. See, oh my goodness, you gonna have me react to this video. You gonna get me in trouble. You about to get me in trouble tonight.
What you gotta say, EJ?
Here's the thing, bro. Okay, I'm gonna just say it. Okay, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna just say it because here's the thing. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. So here's the thing. You know, I'm single. Yeah, I'm single, ready to mingle. But here's the thing. It's like the only way to explain it is that, well, not only way. I believe that video is correct on a lot of fronts because I personally don't see any effort, right? And it's like, if women really knew, I'm not going to say that it's easy. I'm not going to say that. But what I am
I
going to
will.
say is,
I'll
if
say it for you.
women really knew, like if women really knew that if they were to just do 10% more, 20% more, right? That would put them at
Mhm.
a level that dramatically surpasses what your average woman does. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, many women, they just kind of sit back and they're just kind of like, yo, like, all right, cool. I'm gonna sit back because of whatever reason,
Mhm.
whether it's because, hey, my beauty is enough, or my aura is enough, or
Mhm.
I'm enough, or whatever. I don't know. Like, whatever that, I don't know where or what that entitlement is, but in much of my experience, it's just always been this thing of like, I'm going to chill, I'm going to
Yeah.
sit back, and I'm going to wait for your move. And it's like, if they only knew that, just, I mean, I'm telling you, and I'll give a couple practical examples. If you live in the same city, pulling up to his workplace, right? Doing something nice, baking
Yeah.
some cookies. You ain't even got to bake cookies. You can literally go to the gas station
And
and
buy some.
pick up some Reese's peanut butter cups and go to his workplace.
Mhm.
And even if he's not available, leave it there at the receptionist desk or whatever
Mhm.
and bounce. I'm just giving a practical, silly example. Like, if
Right.
women knew that even something that minute would place them at a level that's far beyond what your average woman does. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give a very real example. Okay. I've had when I had a gallery in Ocala. I no longer have it. The foot traffic didn't make sense, so I let it go. I had an art gallery in
Mhm.
Ocala. During that time, yes, did I have women that were interested in me? Maybe I wasn't on dating sites, but there's Facebook, right? And there, you talk to people on Facebook. Sometimes you might DM somebody DMs you. You see that there's a little chemistry, you see that there's a vibe. Okay. The women that were seemingly interested in me, they knew that I had an art gallery. At no point in time did any of those women that showed interest in me, did they ever pull up to my art gallery? And they lived in Ocala. They literally lived in Ocala.
Mhm.
I can only say of one, okay? And I'm not saying that I had dozens and dozens and dozens of women that were interested in me. It was a
Player,
nice handful of women at one point
player.
that and like, out of all the women that showed interest, only one stopped by my art gallery, right? And we had a
Mhm.
conversation. She was just like, "Hey, I just, give me a tour." We talked on Facebook a little bit. I'm just here to meet you in person. We've never met in person. Can you give me a tour of your art gallery? You know how simple that is? Like,
Yeah.
that's so simple.
Mhm.
And like, that placed her above all of the other women that I was interested in at the time. And what happened? A lot of my interest for a lot of those other women fell off, because I'm like, if this young lady is willing to do more, then that's my
Yeah.
new standard. That's my new
Yeah.
standard. So,
Bro,
anywho, that's just one
I,
example. There's many others, but that's one example.
I think it's like this, bro. Women control access to sex, men control access to relationship. I like the way he put it, commitment.
Yes.
Um, and if and I think a lot of times women will get complacent in the fact that, oh, I can get a man to have sex with me. And because I can get a man to have sex with me, they equate that to you can get a man to commit to you. No, those are two totally different things. They
No.
require two totally different types of effort. Like he said, men put up the effort
Yes.
first. Oh, you did all this to come, to sleep with me. The women say that. And then he just stopped. Well, because that's what you have access to. Now, if you want the relationship, because now it's backwards, like he said, we're talking about, it's backwards. People have sex before commitment. Now, if you want the commitment, then get a man to commit to you. And that
Yeah.
doesn't mean like you might not put in effort like how a man would put in effort, but do womanly things. I don't know. I don't know. Don't
Right.
whatever.
Make a
I
sandwich.
think a lot of
right?
times women
That type
just
of
don't
stuff.
have game, bro. Women just don't have game, bro. A lot of times, a lot of women just don't have game. You know.
I've
I
learned
mean,
from a young age, man. Young age, from dating, girls. First off, a lot of guys growing up, I've seen that a lot of guys are not actively dating, right? So that's one thing, and a lot of women,
yes.
same type of man or the same man, right? And then once you get them, like EJ says, they just let go, right? They want you to continue chase them. So I've learned at a young age to only deal with women that like me better than I like them, more than I like them, right? And that
Yes.
changes the whole dynamic when you deal with the woman that likes you more than you like them. Like after, I mean, of course, you're courting them, and after you do the do, after you smash or whatever, you just leave them alone, and you get to see what kind of woman that they are. If they're not going to call you back, if they're not going to, hey, be vibe, right? That, leave me alone type of vibe, right? If she's not going to be doing that, she's probably not the one for you. But if she's going to be calling you, hey, what you doing? How you feeling? Blah, blah, checking up on you and doing the things like you probably know that that's someone that you want to invest your time with. But if she's not into me more than I'm into her, I don't want her. I mean, that's just me, because I'm more into my purpose.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Purpose.
yes.
Get it. And that's what I try to teach my kids, my son too, and whatnot. But do they listen? No. But or maybe
You
they
gotta
do,
try,
and I
bro.
just don't know.
Another reason why women get ghosted
What'd you say?
is running defense.
I said she got my fault. I hit this on accident. I said she got to try. The women, you got to put in some effort. Like it can't just be a man showing so much doing
Right.
the chasing. Like this can, and I get it. Like women, women.
No, but
Are, we use them analogies so much. Men do the hunting, and that's right. Men, we do go out and seek. That's true. However, I mean, you got to want to be caught. And if you're not giving me, I want to be caught vibes. Like if you're not giving a man, I want to be caught vibes, bro. And
right.
catch and release, fellas.
It's going to be a lot more women that are not clingy than they are clingy. There's going to be a lot more women that have a lot of options, and especially in the social media world where they can just they're looking hot or whatever. Yeah, I try to. You'd probably want to avoid those and spend your time with the ones that's showing you, that she's into you. That's why I agree with what he says. Women must work for commitment. If she's showing you and putting in that work, invest that time in her.
But that's why we're at. That's why we're at where we're at. Like, for people that are single right now, both men and women, that's why we're at where we're at, because it's more men more than ever are becoming astute to all of that. Like if we're privy to all of that, I mean, I hate to use this word because it's been used a lot, but there's really no other way to put it. Guys, and I joked about this on Facebook, like back in the 90s, all that 90s R&B music was just a whole bunch of simping. Guys crying in the rain on their knees, I'll make love to you how you want me to. People were coming at me in the comments because I was talking bad about Boyz II Men. But like, if you think about it, in the 90s, it was all about begging for a woman's attention and affection. That is simp behavior. Like, I'm sorry. And I know simp has been used a lot, but like now men are becoming astute. Like we understand now that that's simp behavior, and that's not okay. It's just not. And now that we understand that, now we're at this place, right? I mean, it sucks, but now we are at this standoff where many women, they might not say it out loud, But when they describe the kind of man that they want, they are describing a simp. They are describing a man that begs and whimpers and I'm gonna. It's almost like this, like, I don't want to say knight in shining armor, but it's this whole situation of like the man has to do everything. The man's gonna come crawling. The man's gonna be begging for this attention. When you many women describe their man of their dreams as this man that's just gonna be there at their beck and call. And ultimately, us as men, we're now understanding that that's not how it's supposed to be. So there's a standoff, right?
Right.
So if women want us to be a certain way and men want women to be a certain way, guess what? We're literally right now, all dating is men and women looking at each other, and there's a line drawn in the sand between men and women, and we're just staring at each other. We're not dating. We're not messing with each other. It is what it
Yeah.
is, and it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And dating is still relatively a new concept when you really think about it, because
Yeah.
we're moving away from the traditional role where dating didn't exist. It was much more arranged, much more excuse me, sir, can I marry your daughter? That type of stuff. It wasn't the
Yep.
dating world where women were out there sleeping around and men were able to smash and all that stuff. It's relatively a new experience that we're dealing with, and it has come to the point where it's transforming now to where men are like, hey, we're not going to be trying to be traditional men for women who are not traditional in themselves, right?
There you go.
And so,
Yep.
Because nowadays you ask a woman, like you said, EJ, she has a whole checklist of what she wants the man to do, but then when you ask her, okay, but what is a woman supposed to do? She's like, I'm gonna just be me.
Crickets.
I'm gonna bring me to the table. Just me.
I'm the table.
He gets this. Yeah,
You'd be like, what do you bring to the table, miss? They'd be like, I'm the table. Come on, bro. What in the world?
Yeah, exactly.
No, bro.
And we're just like, yeah, we're done. We're done with that, right? We're done.
Yeah.
I think
It's a standoff, man. It's a standoff. It sucks.
I got one more just for the sake of time. We'll do one more. I had a couple.
All right, yeah, I know we're running out of time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think this was pretty dope. We'll end off with something a little.
Instead of lowering your price when they
This right here, I'm just gonna play it. I ain't even gonna preface it.
Instead of lowering your price when they say
There
it's
you go.
too expensive, remove features until it fits their budget. Here's the psychology. When you discount, you're saying your original price was inflated. When you remove features, you're saying value costs money. Customer says, can you do 5,000 instead of 7,000? You say, absolutely. At 5,000, we'd remove the implementation support and quarterly reviews. Does that work for your situation? Now they're choosing between full value at full price or less value at lower price. That's a real decision, not a negotiation game. You might say, but I have to discount in this market. No, you don't. You have to stop attracting customers who only care about price. That starts with holding your ground. Discounting trains negotiators. Subtracting trains buyers. Choose which customers you want.
Bro, when I heard that, because I was trying to find something for us. When I heard that, bro, I said, mic drop, bro. Mic drop. And because I do that. When a person says, oh, well, can you do it for this price? I can. Without that, though. Because I once was like that. Oh, I just want to get the money, But then it's like the type of people you're dealing with when you're just trying to get the money. And it's just like, nah, man. Nah, because within my purpose is to, and then what I realized, because I wasn't moving in my purpose, I was doing my clients a disservice because I'm not giving you my full purpose, because I'm discounting myself. And when you sell yourself at a discount, we're not talking about a shirt or something like that. We're talking about a service. And then now the service wanes, right? Because I'm trying to give you full top-notch service at a discounted price. And bro, that don't work.
Yep.
And now you working disgruntled, you working upset. Nah, man. Nah. And I was doing my clients a disservice. And me being in my purpose, this is my purpose, to take this vision and bring it to light with the best quality possible. Bro, I'm not fully doing that. But yeah, bro, that's dope. I know Paul got something dope to say about it. My fault, EJ. What was you saying?
No, so this is definitely it's almost like, I mean, this in itself, I'm gonna give a very short version of what I'm about to say because this topic is a whole podcast. Because
Yeah.
this is a whole podcast episode because there's so many ways to slice this pie, and I'm gonna just put it like this: as an artist, I deal with this every day, right? My price point for a canvas is this. Okay, well that's too much money. Okay, bet. If then I'm not gonna. That's the price for this size, right? That's the price for this size, whatever size you want, right? Now, if you want, if I'll ask you what your budget is, and then I'll respond to bet. Your budget is this, then the size is this. Let me in the camera is this, right? Sorry. Like I adjust the size of the canvas, I adjust the scope based on the price. I'm not going to be like, yo, I'm going to give you the same big canvas, but because you can't afford it, I'm going to discount the price. And I've been learning about this a lot, and I'm going to share this out loud here on this podcast and say, you know, Paul really showed me a lot with that too, with the video stuff, because, as I'm continuing with the video work and stuff, he believed at my work at the price point that it is. So going forward, like, I'm not discounting that price because I know that I have him and other clients that have said yes to that price. And of course, it might take some more time to find the clients that you want, but that's why this is a podcast episode. That's a whole train of thought, and that's a whole school of thought in business, right? So anywho, that's a great thing. And I just say, man,
bro.
I love how he put it to where it's about the features, right? I'm not going to discount you the size. Like, I'm not going to say you can get the same size canvas for X because you can only afford this. I can give you a smaller canvas for the price that you're saying that you can afford.
Facts. What you got, Paul? What you got?
They understand your value.
Yes.
So situation, right, for the discount. Now, if you're, for example, right, if you're coming in, not going to discount, right? But if you're coming in for consulting, bookkeeping, tax returns, I'm gonna give you a break on it because you're getting a bundle price now, right? So it all depends. If I know, I'm not only dealing with Tom, I'm gonna be dealing with Tom's always is gonna bring me Eddie and Jason too, then me and Tom's gonna have a conversation.
Yeah.
But if it's just someone I've never met, just a one-time thing, I'm not gonna just decrease my value just because he needs a break or something. I'll work out a payment plan with someone and decrease my value. Because it does. I agree with him in where it diminishes your expertise, your knowledge, and your value that you're bringing towards, with your trade, right? Why would you want to do that? Especially when you have all your other clients that understand and see your value and respect your value too, diminish your value. So I agree with that on that aspect. But again, situations I might consider a discount because of a bundle or more you're bringing me more customers to deal with too. Then we can talk.
Yeah. Nah, that
but
makes
ultimately, no discount.
In that situation, it makes sense because of the add-ons. I'll just say this one really quick before
I do that all the time in real estate too. I apologize to cut you off, but I do that in real estate too, right? Like if I'm helping someone sell their house and then I'm helping them buy another house, right? While they're selling, they're selling a house and I'm helping them buy a house too. All right, then I'll help you sell your house at a discount because I'm gonna help you buy another house too, right? So it depends. It all depends on the scenario. But if it's just a straight up transaction, no, we're not making any change to the price.
Yeah.
And then, like you said too, your other customers, like you got your other customers that do that, and then that customer, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna move them on that price. They're gonna want to stay at that price for any future business that may come. But I'll say this really quick before we get out of here too. Like in my field, production, video, pre-production, post-production, when I communicate my value, when I communicate my price, I've had people come and say certain things. I've had even other people that got quotes someplace else. They'll come back to me, or they'll come to me and ask me about a quote they got someplace else, and I'm just like,
Yep.
I ain't doing nothing dirty to that other person or the other company. I'm just like, that's how much it costs. Like, production costs. I was talking to someone about a wedding. They were talking about the price they had to pay for a wedding, doing a wedding or doing an event. I'm sorry. And I said, you realize production runs the entirety of the project and then after. I said, when you go home and the talent goes home, production is still working because they're editing. Production is the only one that works from start to finish. You got pre-production because now they're planning and all of that. Then they got a setup before your people get there. Then when the people get there, then they got to work to do more. And then when the people leave, they got to tear down. And then once everyone's going home, sleeping, the venue's cleaned up, the food's all gone, you're in your bed, they got to edit. So like production runs longer than anybody else. So I said, and this ain't even my client. I'm like, bro, I'm talking about something. I'm like, that's how much it costs, because my purpose, bro, I respect the trade too much. And I'm just like, bro, that's just what it is. So you either pay the person, or if you want a lower price, you're going to lose value. You got to lose something. But yeah, man, I thought that was pretty dope. But man, EJ, bro, I appreciate you for rocking with us with this episode, man, for episode 44. We got to bring you back because, like you said, that's a topic in itself. And now I want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, no, that's a whole. I'm excited. I mean, I got a lot to say. We already ran out of time, so please bring me back for that one.
Let's talk about it again.
Yeah,
man. I hope people
business.
really appreciate the value of this conversation, because we've been dropping jewels, man. You guys drop jewels on the entrepreneurial world that someone can take and help them grow their business. So yeah. I appreciate the jewels that you guys drop, and that's the whole point of this podcast, is for us to get together and spread the experiences that we had to help better someone else's venture, right? So, I appreciate you, Daniel, too, for this conversation, and EJ, most definitely, man. It's always fun to have you on here as well.
Yeah, nah, it is. I appreciate you for rocking.
Let's do it again.
And EJ, how can they get in touch with you, bro? I'm gonna tag you in this anyways, but it's another day, EJ.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, so if you guys want to check me out, Instagram, TikTok, it's Another Day with EJ.
Yep. Yes, sir. Thank y'all for rocking with us.
Mr.
It's tax
Ocala.
season. Yeah. It's tax season, so make sure that you guys hit up Paul Renee at Tax Pros. TaxMoney123.com. Make sure y'all reach out.
TaxMoney123.
TaxMoney123. Yeah, it's tax season. Let them know that you heard about them on Beyond the Hustle. And next week, same time, same place, we'll be back with episode 45. Appreciate y'all. Deuces.